The Bunker Project podcast, episode number 18. And welcome back to another episode of The Bunker Project. We're podcasting to you every week, bringing you information on social media, podcasting, and technology, all over a beer. Welcome back to another episode of The Bunker Project. I'm here with Bob Garlick in the Bunker Bar on Robson, and we're still in the dark.
The Bumpkin Bar?
We're still in the dark.
The Bumpkin Bar? Is that a Freudian slip?
Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bunker Project, starring Bob Garlick and Andrew McGivern. Yay! Ready for the show?
Hey,
All right.
that's our...
this is the Muppet Show.
$10,000. I don't know where we're spending our money, Matt. We're getting ripped off, I can tell you.
No,
Kermit's
that was
struggling.
awesome.
It's hard being green. Hey, man, it's hard being green.
It's not
Hey,
easy
when you're
being
married to a
green.
pig, it can be kind of hard too, you know, because
Hey, she's a bitch.
you know she gets that.
Hey, was that the B word?
There
Can I
was a-
say that? Can we check?
In a pig context, you can.
All right.
Yeah,
you
it's
swine.
like a
you
dog or a
swine.
pig. It's actually the correct terminology.
It's the Bacon Show.
The bacon show.
Hey, you know, what's with the bacon everywhere? Have you guys, noticed these guys that are just totally rabid about bacon this, bacon that? You got bacon and peanut butter, bacon this, the triple bacon.
Bacon and chocolate.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
With black
okay.
beer.
All right. I take
All
it
right.
back. I take it back.
So today we're going to talk about...
Bacon.
We got a couple questions from some from Satomi in our studio audience here, but we've also going to talk about Groupon. And Groupon is a group buying coupon phenomenon. And it's... Oh, that fridge just popped on.
Ding. That's the
You got the
keg.
hum
We
of
emptied the
fridge.
keg, man. That's the black beer keg being refilled, man.
The cooler is just kicked in to keep the black beer nice and cold.
Yeah, I don't think they can hear that those subtle
So,
crashes in
hey,
the background.
I just started getting emails every day from livingsocial.com and groupon.com, and I've made a few purchases.
What did you buy? You keep on Facebook.
I keep
Oh
hitting
man,
the
I got this
table.
great deal on
I keep
some
hitting the table.
steak and da 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 da.
Well,
What was that? So a
I
steak
got
and a massage
Santa
and
Fe,
something?
I think it is. I got $25 for $25. I got $50 worth of food and drinks over in West Van by Ambleside.
Well, let's go. I'm there.
Awesome. And Players Chop House, $25 for $50 worth of food and drinks there.
Nice. Isn't there that there's a
And
doctor?
I just got $40 worth of cigars for $20.
Yeah, and there's
Because I'm going to need a cigar in a few months.
exactly. Well, and also there's a doctor that's got a 2-for-1 chest X-ray thing that's happening
Oh,
for all
yeah.
these people that are eating all this red meat and drinking
Right.
cigars.
So I don't normally smoke anything, cigars or cigarettes.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
But only on special occasions. So
like on
May.
weekends and.
I'm going to need a cigar because I'm going to be a dad.
Oh yeah, a new podcaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's going to be
that's the big
doing
news.
you going to doing the diaper podcast is coming up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might as well.
No, I think somebody's already got that one. Actually, there's a lady in Vancouver Island because I do a new podcast. Hey, let me talk to you about my new podcast. Hang on. Digression 1. I do a new podcast called garlicandplumjam.com. It's amazing that was available, And it's with a publicist, a really nice lady called Kimberly Plumley. She's just like me. She's basically my like a female doppelganger. She's a blah 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 blah. But she's the PR side and I'm the marketing side. So we do a podcast every week. We've done 2. So go check it out on iTunes. So it's garlicandplum.com or just put Bob Garlic in. It should pop up. And the
Just like that?
Yep, that's the new iTunes sound effect. Can't you get that? It's called watermelon seed.
I haven't opted into that one.
Yeah, you got to get the watermelon seed. It's from the Picnic collection, I think. Stomping Ants, Watermelon Seed, and Angry Daughter. So, hang on, I'm going to put that down. That was a digression on a digression. That's awesome. That's like we only had one of those in the last show. So, hang on. Looks like our Game Whiz quiz Tiz guy is twittering.
He's
on
playing
the
a
site.
game.
Bob is digressing
He
like
must have his-
crazy. Come on, give me a
I
break.
I wanted to know something. After
All right.
20 cases of digression, of 20 marks of digression,
Yeah.
what happens?
Yeah,
Do you get a bonus or something?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I got maybe a bottle of champagne.
I think it's almost like he gets paid by the digression.
Paid. What a concept. Paid. All right. So, what were
why,
we talking about?
Why did you make the word into? Why did you change it to digression? It used to be tangent.
Oh, tangents, cool. Were we tangenting or digressing?
Hey, speaking of tangents,
we digress.
here's my digression before we get into Groupon.
No, that sounds like a tangent.
Bob made this on our one of our episodes where we just went crazy with the digressions. I think it was with the tangents. Yes.
Well, tangents are more
Tangents.
mathematical.
Hang
I think
on,
tangents
hang
are more
on.
precise. He's poking me
Tangents.
just like the Queen. He poked me just like the Queen. Hey, by the way, last week, did you log in to Facebook and poke the Queen? That's all I got to say.
So we went off on probably a record-breaking number of tangents that episode. And if you've been to uncensoredsocialunderground.com, you've seen the videos that Bob's made using Extra Normal.
Oh, they're awesome. Have you guys checked them out?
Normal.com.
They're frigging hilarious,
So
man.
these two black guys in an alley.
These two dudes. In an alley.
Almost,
Yo, man.
almost stereotypical and.
Oh, totally. Are you kidding? It's
Anyway.
great. The guy's got the headphones on, and
So Bob
Black
creates
beer.
this. He creates this Extra Normal video with two black guys in an alley saying, "Hey, did you catch the fight?" and blah blah blah. No, I was down with these dudes downtown listening to the Bunker Project, and they're getting down with all the social media jazz and all this stuff. And then he says, "Yeah." He goes, "I got hit in the head with a tangent," and he's like. Oh, you mean like those dudes, Bob and Andrew, they go off on all these tangents and blah, blah, blah. What does that have to do with getting hit in the head with an orange? And he's like, no, you idiot. You got to get a life. You're talking about
Tangerine.
a tangerine, not a tangent. Anyways.
yeah, so there is a bit of humor in there. Did you check them out?
Yeah, I have checked them out.
What did you think?
I think that the computer software that deciphers the words and actually says them out needs a little bit of correction.
yeah. a little
Oh, yeah.
tricky.
Totally. But, that's
my
part of what
dyslexia.
makes that's part of what makes it funny, though, is that computerized
Yeah.
voice.
But until you told me that it was tangent, I thought he said I got hit in the head with the tension. And I'm like, well, Bob is kind of hard to keep his attention on a particular subject every once in a while.
Yeah, you got to listen to them again and again. So every episode, our show notes, basically we do the show notes as this little micro video. They're like 1 minute, 30 seconds. And there's these two funny guys in the alley. What's hard about it is basically the way it works is I write the text and then they have a computer voice just reads them. So there's all sorts of weird stuff, like I'm spelling words wrong on purpose to actually get the pronunciation to work. And even with that, it's weird. And I've got periods in there. You know, when he'll go like, black dude, black. It's like there's a period there. That's the only way you can get him to pause. So it's kind of a weird...
Well, that's normally how you
But he
pause
sounds
anyway.
so cool. Like, compared to all the other options there, this guy's got a great voice. And I mean, they both have the same voice, which just sucks. But I'm not paying the premium. So if somebody wants to kick me some bucks... Oh, by the way, beer news.
Yeah, beer news coming up.
So we digress. So I'll
we
get so
digressed a little bit.
4
but-
already. We're 10 minutes in the show. 4
So
digressions. That's
before
awesome.
we're
Or
gonna-
tangents
we're
if
gonna
you're into
talk-
mathematics.
We're going to talk about, or geometry. We're going to talk about Groupon now, and then we're gonna take a break and talk about the beer news.
I think from now on you should use the term we are going to try to talk about X.
Right.
And
Exactly.
then
That's
go from there.
that's the problem with
With black beer.
with black beer and podcasting,
Or just the way
because normally this wouldn't happen, but
Well,
but
you
that's
know-
okay. That's part of the show.
The problem is we've mic'd our audience.
The whole point of the
this
show
week,
is that we're talking about social media and internet marketing and new
News.
media, podcasting, and
news in Vancouver,
stuff
apparently.
like that, and all over a beer. Anyways, Groupon. What do you think of Groupon, Bob?
Man, until I started talking to you, I thought it was a great deal. If it was a business, and actually, I did read an article about it's becoming so popular that it's almost not any good for a small business anymore. It only really works for big business.
Right before I came here, I checked on Groupon, and right now they've got yesterday it was the cigars for $20 for $40 worth of cigars in a Gastown cigar shop, and right now it's the body shop, $40 worth of body shop, anything in the body shop for $20.
Wow.
Yeah, and they sold 7,520 Groupons,
In a day.
and they still have 7.5 hours left in the Groupon. So
In one day.
in one day,
One business sold that much.
yes, and if you go to Groupon.com and you check the past deals,
Yeah.
It is
You got the
crazy.
metrics on that?
Oh yeah, it shows you how many Groupons were sold, and so some of the numbers are crazy. Like a massage shop sells like thousands of massages for $20.
My girlfriend's mom actually owns a spa in Yaletown, and it's unbelievable. She's done Groupon I think a few times for a few things that she offers, and it's worked so well. Like thousands of people, it's unbelievable. All the women out there that want to have these services, like threading, for example. It's like when you thread the eyelashes. Anyways, women are totally going nuts over it. And
so I want to come back to that in a second, because now that we have someone that has had some actual experience doing this, or knows someone that has some experience doing this, I want to ask you a question in a minute. Yeah. But here's the thing. We were thinking of doing this at TAC Mobility where I work. Do you know how much Groupon gets out of the coupon? Out of the Groupon price? If it's $20 for $40 worth of product, and you sell, say, 1,000 of the Groupons, what's their cut?
I'm not quite sure. I think it's a good chunk.
It's 50%.
50%, yeah.
So 50%, and the discount to get it into Groupon, it has to be 50 to 90% discount. So if you're at 50% and they're taking a 50% cut of that, you're looking at a 75% discount off of your product.
Basically, Groupon is just laundering money.
And holy smokes, what a good business model for Groupon. Because they don't have to deliver the product. They don't have to deal with the customer service and the inventory or anything. And they've got a Groupon, a special in every major city in North America and spreading around the world. And there's all these clones, Groupon clones like livingsocial.com, and they're great for the consumer. But now the question is it good for your business?
Exactly, because you're below cost already. No way you're going to make any profit or any revenue on it, right?
Well, even as a marketing concept,
That's
doesn't.
not true. It depends what business you have. Some businesses have really high profit margins, and
It's true, and we'll get into that because you're dealing with a salon, was it?
Spa, yeah.
A spa. Okay, so there's been a number after we were thinking about doing this and looking at the numbers, and I found out it was 50% cut to Groupon. I started doing some research, and there's a blogger his name is Bob Phibbs, and he's called he bills himself as the Retail Doctor, and you can find his blog site at www.retaildoctor.com. He despises Groupon, and he says that basically you sign up for any of these group discount coupon sites, and you're attracting the wrong type of customer. You're attracting the discount coupon searcher. And they're going to come to your place. They're going to take their deal. They're not going to spend a dime more. And really, the branding, and Bob's a branding expert, the branding that comes from this transaction is going to Groupon or Living Social or basically he uses the example that
Well, it's a win-win for Groupon, basically.
Yeah. If you have ever received flowers from somebody sends you a bouquet of flowers or chocolates or whatever, do you remember who the florist was, or do you remember who the person who sent you the flowers? Mm-hmm. And obviously, I've received flowers before or get a gift or in the mail, and I don't remember who the florist was. I remember the person that sent me so in this case, Groupon is the person that is giving you the deal, not the...
I'm not so sure about that, because still, as the consumer who's using the coupons, you still go to the place itself to buy something. And you still have a real world experience in that place itself. I mean, it's no more different than regular advertising. The whole point of any advertising or Groupon is just to get you exposed for one time.
Yeah.
One time. And if the business or the service is good enough, when you're there, you'll come back.
I agree.
That's it.
Okay, so I'm going to step in here as the brand expert. So what happens is if you do something like that if you're deciding to okay, let's use Groupon as a marketing exercise, which is totally cool. Number one, look at it strategically and what a great idea, and just jump into it. Very bad idea. Look at it. What's your what product do you make the most money on? What are you making 600% on, or 400% or 300%? That's what you Groupon with. Then you realize that Groupon works, and we're going to have 1,000% increase in customers coming through our front door. So let's get some extra staff in here for the next 3 weeks.
That's
so when people come in, They experience our brand the way people experience it when we're not having a Groupon experience. So I think where a lot of people fail with Groupon is they're not looking at on a strategic level. That we're going to do Groupon and we're going to have 1,000 or 2,000 people be coming in here over the next week and a half. So we better gear up for that. Even if we lose money with staff sitting around twiddling their thumbs, it's better than having 300 people in here and getting a whole pile of people
You
pissed
say
off.
300, but with Groupon,
It could be tens of thousands.
It can be thousands, and that's just it.
Well, you can limit it though. You can say, look, we're going to do a 500 coupons at 50%, and then it cuts off.
Yeah.
You can do that, and that's all part of your strategy.
It depends on the size of the coupon because Groupon has to approve it, and it has to make financial sense for them. Because look at the Body Shop; they sold. It's not even over yet. It's still got when I last looked at it, they still had 7.5 hours left, and they had sold over 7,500 $20 coupons, and $10 goes to Groupon.
Yeah, but the whole thing is that they probably got into it saying, maybe 200-300 people, maybe 500 people get involved. It's not going to work, and that's a classic marketing failure where you go in there and we're going to spend $10,000 or $50,000 doing a marketing campaign with radio and TV, and then so we'll maybe get 30 people. And 5,000 people respond, and you don't have the staff, and they don't know what to do, and they don't have to upsell, and they fail on that level because you're not expecting it to succeed. And that's one of the things with Groupon. Groupon is almost a guaranteed success because people are, number one, we're in economic crisis, and people are looking for bargains, and they're going to jump all over it. So if that's going to happen, gear up your business and get ready to upsell. Now, I was talking to you about your business, and they were saying, look, it doesn't make sense if we have this one product. So I said, well, the way I would look at it strategically is say, okay, you group on an amazing deal for product X, but then when the person comes into the store, you say, well, look, you got a choice. You get product X, and here's a new coupon for the second time you come to visit us with product Y that has nothing to do with Groupon, but you get a second hit, and that's where you're going to.
And that's what we're talking about doing.
And then when they come in a third time, you get a third coupon and a fourth coupon because.
So basically, most businesses waste the exposure they get by not preparing the logistics correctly.
Yeah,
absolutely,
exactly.
Absolutely.
They don't think it through, and they don't have a plan and a strategy to deal with this huge amount of volume that they're going to get.
Yeah,
and then
trade shows isn't a great example.
There's some people that do this, and there's all these case studies. If you go to Bob Phibbs' blog, all sorts of case studies on people that have done it wrong. And I'm not against Groupon.
You just got to get into it with your eyes open.
You have to make the right decisions and know what you're getting into, because if you're taking a loss of $10 a product and you sell 7,000 units, that's a lot of money.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter. And your staff are going to be overwhelmed, and it's just going to be a nightmare. It could actually put you out of business.
Well, actually, there was a case of a portrait company that gave away a bunch of portraits, and they did an analysis of it, and they said these guys, if they work 40 hours a week for the next 3 months, they couldn't fulfill the promise for the coupons. And what they were hoping was going to happen is that people get the coupons and they get lazy. And they wouldn't actually utilize the coupon. The whole thing was like, if somebody gives you a coupon, like at Christmas, here's a coupon for Sears, $40. 93% of people never use it. They never get around to it because it doesn't have any perceived value. You say, well, I don't go to Sears, so, okay, maybe I'll go. Then they go there, and I've got $20 value or $40 or $500 value, whatever. They have no products in that particular brand because they don't relate to the brand. So,
but this isn't really a coupon.
Here's
it's
a Christmas
more of a gift certificate.
Yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is, okay, Christmas is coming up. If you do a Groupon gift certificate and give it to somebody else, which is a viable concept, right? So understand the brand of the person or their brand allegiance. So if you're going to give a Groupon gift or any type of voucher for a teenager, well, don't give them a Sears $50 things because they're going like, well, this sucks. I want to go to X because that's where I want to go in the mall. And that's the power of branding.
Okay, now here's the other thing too is talking about the problem with Groupon is that if you are going to do a Groupon, and then you're asking people, how did you hear about us? Or have you been here before? And then you find out that, okay, wait a minute, these are my customers that would have bought at full retail. And now they're coming in with these 50% off coupons. And that's another problem too, is that people will buy multiples. And then they'll give them to their kids and their family, and then they'll do their Christmas shopping at your store, take your inventory in your busiest season, and now you've got 50% off on items that you would have sold at full retail. So that's another thing you have to think about before you do a Groupon.
Yeah, but it's all strategy. And you know, Mr. Doom and Gloom over here on my left. In the long run, marketing is about consistency, getting the client in again and again, and having them have a good experience more than anything else. And if you can do that on a Groupon experience, plus an advertising campaign, plus a 10% off for our value clients campaign, that on your ongoing marketing campaigns, it's just building brand trust. And really, if they have a good experience there and they had a great deal, they're going to brag about it to their friends. Oh, I went to this place, it was amazing, we got this done, and oh, I'm so happy, my daughter came, we got 75% off, we're so happy, my daughter's a wow, and she's so excited because she bragged about it in school, yada, yada, blah, 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 blah. That is a 30-second or a 5-minute, if she's a big mouth person, campaign over a coffee with somebody you cannot communicate to. And it goes all the way back. And the reason we're talking about this is what Facebook and Twitter and all the social marketing, and it's enabling these people to have a platform that has global reach. So, you know, Groupon strategically is risky, but if you do it right, it can pay off.
So
and
now,
the word of mouth has global reach.
Yep. So now what we're thinking is, because we were looking at doing a $50
You personally?
Groupon. No, it
Well, I think the Bunker Project, we're going to do 50% off. Anybody that comes into the Bunker Project and sits down and talks on the mic, we will give them 50% off whatever it costs. Where do we and we're not telling you how much we're charging here.
So
I don't
get
think
into the
Groupon's
Bunker
even going to
Project.
touch us at 10-foot pole. It's like, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, there's no money in it for them with that. But the point is
no money
we
for
were
us either.
we were looking at the $50, $25 for $50 voucher at the store.
Oh, this is
we ran the numbers when we figured out that, okay, wait a minute, they're taking half of that. We're going to lose money in every customer. But now we're thinking, okay, if we do a $15 for $30,
those are doable.
if someone's buying a more expensive item, they're going to have to pay the difference, and that'll keep us in the black for almost every transaction. And if they're getting a phone, we're getting the money on
what you're
on
talking
the
about
activation. So yeah,
you're talking
So-
that's a classic bait and twist. Bait and
no, they're still getting value.
bait.
They're still
Thank you.
getting value, and a lot of people buy accessories for Christmas presents. For
Yeah.
cell phone accessories for Christmas presents.
Yeah, well,
are
they
big.
come. Yeah, but they come
So
into the
it could
store.
potentially be, if we had a Groupon, it could potentially be big, right? We could sell thousands.
Oh yeah.
In theory, we could sell thousands.
Oh, and here, right in the middle of the debate, is our
Dun, dun,
lovely
dun.
dun 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 dun. Who needs drinks? Hey, I'm okay. I'm about 3/4 from black. You can take this empty away. Thank you very much.
Photos in the black.
I'll
This is a
have,
very small bar. They do run out of glasses.
I'll have
so-
one more black, please.
Excellent.
You got black? I'm there.
You know,
Oh, that's what he said. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got
you
black.
got black,
I'm
I'm
there.
another very important aspect from the business point of view is that a new customer costs you 5 times as much as a returning customer. That's why maybe using the Groupon to get new customers that you won't get any profit in the first time, but if they do come back, then you can make some money.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I mean, you're looking at your marketing.
And
If you're going to spend $10,000 in a marketing campaign and you're going to get 3 new clients, you can say, well, yeah, but these 3 new clients came in, they spent $20. No. What are those guys going to spend for the lifetime of your brand experience over the next 5 or 10 years? And depends how good your brand is and how good you are at luring the people back in. You're talking $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 that these people are going to be spending on your products, or $2,000, $3,000 if you've got very low margin product, very cost effective products. So yeah, to spend $10,000 to get 2 new clients is fine. The thing is, that's where consistency in marketing works, because you spend $10,000 this month to get 2 new clients, and then you spend $10,000 next month to get 2 more clients, and then those 4 clients talk about friends and maybe bringing 1 more client, and yada yada yada. Then you're starting to get into some really nice dynamics. What's happening now, case in point, where you were talking about your game that you wanted to sell on Facebook, suddenly you're saying, hey, I got this game, should I get this product or should I get that product? And the way he worded it is, this is a shout out to my Facebook friends. What should I do? So that's a big new thing that's happening. And we got a guest coming in the next couple of shows, and he's actually developed a website. And what you do is you're out there shopping for some shoes, and you got 2 shoes or 3 shoes or 4 shoes. It's like, wow, I got these 2 shoes. I cannot decide what ones I want to buy. They're both killer shoes. You take a quick shot with your smartphone, you upload it onto their website, and you say, buddies, tell me which shoes to buy. And boom, it sends out to all your connections, and suddenly everybody gets an update. So which shoes should I buy? Buy those shoes. Buy those shoes. And whoever, 60% of my friends say I should buy these shoes. I'm going to buy those shoes. And they put those shoes on, and they go to an event. Hey, these are the shoes you told me to buy. Oh, I love them. They're fantastic. Oh, yeah, they're great. They make you look so much younger. I mean, obviously they're not going to say, oh, you look like an idiot with those shoes, because they're losers.
Well, they're the ones that recommended it to you. So
Exactly. It's a win-win. It's a win-win, right? So the way I'd work
Then
is
the joke's on you.
Exactly. 90% of my friends buy those shoes. I'd buy the weird shoes. That 10% of I said, no, go for those. I say, hey, look at, you told me to buy these shoes. I didn't buy them. I bought the ones you thought you hated. You're right. I hate them. It's cool. Yeah, let's have a beer.
Crowdsourcing is definitely a good thing. That's what
that's
trying.
But I think that's a new shopping trend, and I think it's an exciting concept because in our last show we were talking about kids. They're coming into their workplace. They're 18, 19, 20, 23, 25, and they're just starting to get employed and begin their career. But they're totally plugged into the influence of their Facebook friends or their Twitter friends. And basically that's going to drive them for the next 20, 30 years. So what's happening today in the last 5 years is very relevant to the way businesses are going to actually make money over the next 20, 30, 40 years, unless something amazing happens or catastrophic happens. I think that's going to be the trend. Mm-hmm. It's like your friends will determine. I mean,
so it'll be like
I did it years ago. Sorry for just stomping all over you on that one, but hey, who cares? Oh, by the way, Movember.
Oh, yes.
But that's a digression. We'll just get into that for a second. So that's like
Movember.
Yeah, that's
Bob
4.
and I both have our Movember stash.
Hey, this guy's here.
James also has.
He also has.
James
he
is
doesn't have
happening
the
with-
handlebars though. It doesn't have the handlebars.
No. This is actually just recently. I had to.
How many days old is that, Mo?
I think about 5.
Five day mow?
now, since Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, this is like a 10-day mow, and how else is
It's the Montreal beard.
It's the
Yes.
Montreal beard. Yeah. Once I was out there and around all those the French Canadians made me want to get a nice beard.
Well,
going.
Andrew, he's got like what your mow's like 6.5 hours long. It's bigger than both of ours.
Yeah,
This
it's
guy's
a
got
nice,
hair.
impressive mustache.
This guy's got scary hair, man. He's got. You heard of the 4 o'clock shadow? This guy has like a 10 a.m. shadow. I mean, it's ridiculous. I shaved at 9. And it's like 10 a.m. I said, man, you have shaved for 2 days?
What kind of mustache would you call that, Andrew?
Aggressive.
Walrus must be.
Looking
The
for
walrus
trouble,
was-
mustache.
Harry Walrus.
Yeah,
That's
I tell ya.
actually, by the way, that's my email address.
What, walrus?
harrywalrus@hotmail.com.
No way. Really?
Really?
That's
I don't use
awesome.
that really, but
You
it is
should,
my,
man. That is you big time.
It is my Hotmail address.
It's like his third eyebrow. Because
Yeah.
like he's got like 2 mustaches above his eyes,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
then he's got
big.
this one.
They're big.
just
I
below.
admit it.
Big is an understatement, man.
So
like I've got long sweeping.
it keeps the sunscreen
Mosquitoes
from
away.
running out into my eyes.
Well, you don't have to wear a baseball
when
cap,
I'm at,
that's for sure.
Palm
Jeez.
Springs, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So hey, I'll give that a digression. So
Hey,
that's
that is a
10 for
digression.
that's 10 for the show.
So-
We're rocking it because last year we only had 8. Or
So let's
something
close off Groupon.
like that. Oh, okay.
So Groupon,
Groupon and branding and
we're not going to say it's bad. We're not going to say it's good. We're going to say it's
a
as
doable-
good as you make it. And if you don't do your homework beforehand, you can be in big trouble.
well, just hire me to help you out.
Hire
that's
Bob
all I
to-
can say.
Hire Bob to help out.
In
And,
fact, I've got a Groupon, Bunker Groupon. If you call me, I'll give you a 30-minute free Groupon strategy session. Absolutely. By phone.
excellent.
Well, you can take me out for a steak.
So now Bob Phibbs, the retail doctor, he's totally
yeah.
against Groupon, but he's got.
Hang on, I thought we weren't
10
talking about
reasons.
Groupon.
He's got 10 reasons on 10 things to do instead of doing a Groupon, and you know what? It's
Should we put those in the
almost-
show notes?
We'll put a link to his stuff on the show notes.
All right.
But basically, it's what we are telling everybody to do: get a presence on the web, start a blog, get on Google Places. Eric is big on that. He's got his own optimizers.
Optimizers group. The
Yeah.
Meetup Optimizers
Oh,
group,
it's
yeah.
it's awesome. I haven't been, but apparently it's awesome.
I've been to the first one. I missed the second one.
Was it awesome?
unfortunately. First one was great.
Free beer,
Although
fantastic
some
women.
technical difficulties, but you know,
Yeah, but still.
despite the
it went well.
technical difficulties,
The
it was
content's
It's a prize
awesome.
for everyone,
it
yeah.
was
Yeah, I
awesome.
recommend it for everyone. It's pretty sweet. I went last time.
And it was actually pretty intimate because he was expecting to have a big screen projector there.
So it was candles and pajamas.
He got there,
It was very cool.
the projector was gone, and he had to scramble to set something up, and so we just moved our chairs right up, and we watched a monitor, and it was all good.
Yeah, it
All
went
good.
well.
Yeah, and so
Hey,
yeah.
Eric, do you got one of those iPads yet?
No, but I'm glad you asked me.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
By the way, this is not a sponsored conversation.
No, because I want to release a shout out to everyone else out there. Everybody knows about the iPad, right?
Well, a couple of people, yeah.
Do you guys know about the DARPA pad?
Well, of course, James knows.
Everybody
He
knows. No, okay. First thing first.
Everybody
knows about
other
DARPA?
than James.
Other than James, yeah.
Yeah.
I do not know about the Dalva Pad.
No, the DARPA.
DARPA.
Have you heard about the DARPA? Those are the
I've heard
guys
about
that
the
invented
Maxi.
the internet and everything else. Basically.
This is the 7-inch one, right?
Question is, does anyone out there have any connections to get the DARPA pad? Because forget the iPad, forget all that toys.
Hey,
I
what about
want
the
DARPA pad
The
right
Galaxy
now.
Pad or the Playbook. What about those ones?
See, I want the 30.
Forget those DARPA
Okay.
pad.
No, they were talking
Nothing
about that.
else.
They were talking about the Dalba pad in This Week in Tech. I didn't bring it up in my notes because I didn't understand it was this serious. And hey, if Eric thinks it's this serious, I'm all over it. I want one too.
I heard there's a Maxi
The power.
Pad.
I want the $30.
That's just for women.
That's coming.
iPad clone that's coming from India, though.
Eh?
Yeah.
$30?
They've said that they've created a tablet PC basically that for $30.
Oh, it's
So,
about time.
yeah, I'd like to see it. Get
2 weeks. I've
manufactured,
been waiting.
so.
2 weeks.
Hey,
Hey,
that's-
that way
hey, you know-
multitasking works. You get
Hey,
if
we-
you want to do 5 multitasks, you have just 5 of them, right? That's like nothing.
Even
you know?
the Bunker Project could afford one of those. That's in our budget.
I don't know, but we'd have to cut down on 1 or 2 beers, so it's a hard call. It's a hard call.
I'll take the beer.
See, I
As
don't
at the
think-
Black Beer app.
I don't think they've actually made it so that it's officially $30 yet, but that's what they were claiming like about 2
Well, they're going to make it for $30.
Well, they've got
they're
a
going to charge
car.
$100.
They've got a car for $1,500 there, so
Wow.
why not have a
What's it called? There's a car called. I forget.
Yeah, there's a
The
50.
Delphi,
there-
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
or the Delphi? Isn't it? What is it?
The company is called the Tata.
Tata. Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, it's an awesome car. It's got Wi-Fi, and the only reason it's got Wi-Fi because it's powered with Wi-Fi. Oh, sorry, the car stopped. We're out of Wi-Fi range. That'd say it'd be fantastic in Vancouver. You could drive all over the place with all the free Wi-Fi from the coffee shops.
Hey, there are
Hang on, I gotta count those
Wi-Fi
as
powered
decoration.
devices.
Well, this is such a small car. You could
I
probably.
I subscribe to gizmag.com and I get all sorts of emails on new green energy and things like that.
Oh, there's
and
a
all
ton
sorts
of
other
green energy
technology.
stuff out there.
And
Awesome.
people are developing products that will run on Wi-Fi.
Well, I just watched a movie.
Powered by
it,
Wi-Fi.
it was Night and Day or something like that, kind of thriller, and it was all about a battery. And this tiny battery that could recharge really fast using the nanotechnology, by the way, which is real. And it could power a small city. Little tiny battery. And I think, next 5 or 10 years, that is going to be a reality where you don't have these big power stations. You just have a little tiny battery. And I knew a friend back in Asia. He was my favorite mad scientist, John. And he was a laser scientist, and he amazing. He uses argon lasers, which is if you buy an argon laser, they can take down a 747 at 7 miles. So if you buy one, you have to buy it out of the States, and then they send it to the military, and they cut the power in half. So you can't do that. And then he imported it, and he used it internally for discos. So, yeah, he did some pretty crazy laser shows, man. You come to these laser shows, oh my God,
Hey,
it's the
latest,
middle of summer.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
just
you
a
can
laser show.
You can enjoy it and kill the competition. Both.
Yeah, enjoy it, but you're blind for life. But yeah,
Well,
this is
hey,
the only
latest
guy I
one
know that
saw-
climbed up a power pole and stole the power. Because
The latest
he
one I
needed
saw
that much-
was this new technology that you can spray on just regular windows, and that'll turn them into a solar panel.
No way.
So
Yeah,
every
yeah,
building in
I
your
heard
house
that.
could be, every
That's
window in your
sweet.
house or in the office building or whatever could be a solar panel. That's pretty cool.
You know what else is cool? You can actually use water as a fuel now. Did you know that? Yeah.
Yeah, don't get me into that.
It's pretty cool.
I had a
I
bad
watched videos
experience.
recently,
I
and
don't
there's-
even want to hear about that one.
They've managed in Japan.
I don't wanna hear about
to
it.
Run a car.
I'm not
out of
joking.
water.
I don't want to hear about it.
Hey, no, speaking of a managed band, there is a guy in Japan that has this amazing invention where you take all your plastic products, styrofoam and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I
and
saw that YouTube video.
And that converts to fuel. Because it makes sense because
Yeah,
they're so
biofuels.
Okay, so
basically, it's using all the your plastic and styrofoam stuff that is made out of oil, and it just reconverts it.
Back
so you
to
got
oil.
buy a steak and it's got a little plastic thing that's made of white, and it's okay for you collect a lot of those and you end up throwing a lot of them away. And he's saying basically for every pound or 5 pounds of this stuff, you get a liter of gas that you can use in your car. It's crazy. So
Yep.
look that one
That's
up on
awesome
YouTube.
stuff. So the reason why I was down on that
Water
the
comment.
water thing
I
is
know you just
because I
trashed it. Look,
started
he's
a-
crying.
I had
He's
a-
in a little fetal position, man.
I had
you
a,
are brutal.
I had a natural health company, and
They got taken down by the
basically
water guys, didn't they?
My partner got into this water for gas, and
Yeah, well,
It
that's
was,
Clayton, isn't it? Clayton, we love you, Clayton,
And
if you're
is
listening.
sleeping in your couch now?
Clayton was
he
so
did for 6 or 7 months.
Clayton is so entrepreneurial. He was so entrepreneurial that he was good on a new idea for what, 5 to 10 minutes?
And then he'd get another one.
Oh, I know. It was
Anyways,
awesome. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
we're
let's
into
hear
this
it.
thing.
Yeah, what's your reason?
It's very hard to do brochures.
We'll
for
talk
companies
about
like
that after the show.
after the show. Because
Moving on.
yeah, we did a show
We're gonna-
with the 7 things you can't say on a podcast.
Yeah, we did.
And yeah, those would be used. Those would be adjectives in that conversation. So
Yeah, we
can't
don't
use them
need
on
to
the
do
show.
that. It's just,
Hey, anyways, look, I got some notes here during the digressions, and I wanted to bring up.
We're on our break. We're on our break, and now we're going into the black beer.
You're all over me,
And,
man. You're jumping all
okay,
over me, man. I
Okay,
can't
let
handle
me
it.
do the first part, and you can do the second part.
Oh, hang on. What
So,
break?
Remember, in the
Oh, we
beginning
got
of the
an
show,
ins-
we
oh.
talked about we're going to do Groupon, then we're going to have a break, talk about the beer, and then go into some questions. So
What-
now we're on to the black beer. About, I don't know, 14, maybe 13 episodes ago, Bob did a call out to all people
beer
all over the world.
news,
He
beer
said, hey,
news,
all
yeah,
you
yeah.
people all over the world out in different areas, the Ukraine, Australia, Thailand, all you people that are listening to the podcast from other countries.
Yeah, please illegally send me some beer
Send us some beer, and we'll do a review for free.
by mail. I just
Okay.
today I just phoned up.
It was last week. Bob was over at my apartment and eating some homemade pizza, and we drank
gourmet
the beer.
pizza. Gourmet pizza.
We drank the beer. It was Tooheys Old Black Beer from Australia.
Oh my God, it was
It was
awesome.
shipped from Australia by our good friend Craig Griffiths
And his daughter.
and his daughter from
Well,
Australia.
his daughter didn't ship it, but she's been influencing the guy.
So he tried to ship it, and it got returned back, and he was informed
you know why?
that it's illegal to send alcohol in the mail internationally.
Well, yeah, I found that out because I tried to. I've got another connection with a lady down in California that's going to send us a bunch of black beer, but can't be done. You cannot send beer.
Across state lines.
Well, you can't. You cannot send beer during the mail. But there's all these internet sites where you can order beer on the internet and it gets shipped to you anyways. You can do it through UPS. But in Canada, can't be done. So the way you do it is you go back to where do we shoot the Blaine story? What show was that?
That was
Show 3?
No,
Show
it
4?
was. I think it was show 5.
Okay, show 5. There's an amazing place in
No,
Blaine.
no, it was show 6.
All right, show 6. So listen to show 5, and it's not right. Show 6.
Put this down on one of those things that we don't remember during the show.
all right. Show 6. Anyways, the Blaine store. You ship the beer to the Blaine store. You drive over the border. You score your beer, and you drive out. And if you're lucky, you get the friendly guy, and you get to go in without paying it. So yeah, there's this lady down in California. She's going to say apparently she got 3,500, 3,300 breweries, and she makes us look like wimps when it talks about black beer. Well, listen to the podcast, the special report.
Special report.
Yeah, she is well into the black beer.
There was a couple episodes
And
ago.
we talked for like half an hour after I stopped recording, and man, she's talking some serious black beer. And she talked about this amazing vacation where she went on a trip up through the Salt Spring Islands with a boat, and it was a beer tour. So go check that out. That sounds fun, because if you're in the States, you can't get that beer. So if you're listening to us in the States, you're going to have to fly up here and do that cruise to experience those beers. So she was really excited about me actually scoring those beers and zipping them over the border and shipping those via UPS down to California.
And it's a
we're
cool
gonna
special report. If you've already listened to it, you know what we're talking about. If not, go
Well,
back
listen
a
to-
couple episodes and listen to
and
the
listen
special
to it.
report.
Exactly.
And the special report, you'll know,
has its own icon.
has its own little logo. It says special report. It's not formatted like it doesn't have the same format of the drunk Bunker Project
I'm calling
episodes.
drunk. I'm digressive, angular,
It's more of a-
obtuse.
Breaking news or special interview kind of thing. But back to the Craig Griffiths beer. What did you think of the beer?
Oh man, it was awesome. I
Like,
mean, it was so smooth.
It was so good that if it was here, we'd be drinking it right now. We wouldn't be drinking this stuff. I don't
Other
think.
black.
Yeah.
Well, I know the aftertaste was nicer. It was smooth. The problem is,
And he sent these giant bottles.
oh, they were huge bottles. But you know what? It's so good that those huge bottles.
Oh,
were,
it lasted us
oh.
only a few minutes.
Well, what was like?
They were gone.
It was basically maybe 2.5 pints.
Oh, and by the way, thank you very much for sending them. And how much did it cost him? It cost him like $67.
Oh, $67. It's like, $7 worth of beer and you $67 to ship it. Man, you are way cool.
Rock star. You're a rock star.
Yeah, if I could afford to fly to Australia to shake your hand and get totally pissed with you, I would do it. But since I'm broke right now, I don't have to worry about getting really pissed and having a hangover. But you
Well,
know
you
what?
got the vitamin B1 patch.
Those beers are so smooth, you might not even need a vitamin B patch. I mean, that's how good. I mean, why can't we get that beer in Canada?
So,
Apparently, it's owned by
that's the
Japanese corporation too.
that's the first time anything's
We didn't
asked
ask
for something
out.
and we got we
got
asked and
it.
you shall receive.
Exactly.
Amazing.
So the next
power
call
of
out is like,
podcasting.
I really want to see
$100 bills.
what a 3.5 kilo chunk of bullion would look like. So if you could just ship that to me, it would be fantastic, and we give a great little report on that one. I don't
All
know
right.
if we can get that back to you though.
So that's the end of the break, and now we're going on to some questions
reality
from the studio audience. We've got Satomi here, and she is.
Oh yeah, she's got some stuff
She
for
brought
us.
some
She's on
notes.
fire.
Some old school questions.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
you know what? Satomi, she is a superstar because she has just done. I've got a couple
She
of emails
started her
back and
first
forth.
podcast.
She did her first podcast with a very good friend of mine, Mira, a very long European name. Sorry, Mira, I can't pronounce it because I've had 3 beers. How do you pronounce that one? Melatostenich?
Sorry, Mira.
See, it's the black beer. She's been drinking black beer. So Mira, sorry about that.
Yeah, but
one.
she's got the black beer in this cool wine glass.
But
It's pretty cool.
all I gotta say is
We
like
got pint
Mira
glasses.
is the queen of art. She is
Yes.
connected with so many people. She's done so much for art in Vancouver. She is an amazing lady. And the thing that's interesting, you sat down with her for how long? 2 hours?
2.5 hours.
And-
had a great conversation.
Now you edited your podcast down to how long?
30, but I'm going to do a couple more because we talked about so many interesting topics.
You get that girl going, and the stuff that comes out is amazing. So what she experiences was don't use a condenser mic. So let's talk a little bit about what happened.
At the podcast?
Yeah, what did you think of the quality of the podcast? Like, you had a question about what type of mic to use. You used that. What did you use actually? You
Well,
had
I
one?
just used an MP3 player.
Yeah, well,
Just a
recorder,
small
yeah.
recorder, just a small one.
Just a small
and it
digital
was so
recorder.
sensitive, it picked up all the noise, but her voice came in very well. And so there was a lot of background
background
noise.
everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People talking and
Yes.
clanking
Oh, and the
dishes and all
music,
that
But
kind of stuff.
I'm going to just do the 30-minute, but then next time I'll do a couple more, but in a quieter spot.
So actually, that's and we actually just sent some voicemail feedback. Bob and I met at the
Yeah, we
Empire
did a
Landmark Hotel.
Yeah, using your.
We were up at Cloud 9, the revolving restaurant, and we had a beer there. You had a Guinness.
Yeah, I had again. Well, the whole thing is like, let's not digress too much. Basically, yeah, it's like the one just down the road here, up at the top. You can just go there and have a beer.
You don't have
and
to.
it's-
You don't have to
and
have dinner.
it
You can
spins
just
around
go to the lounge.
really fast. So you kind of like suck to the wall with it. No, just kidding.
Takes
But-
an hour and 20 minutes to do a complete 360 degrees.
But you kind of get a little dizzy because your
you're up
table
high,
and-
right?
Yeah.
You're right by the window. You're right by the edge, and you're
Yeah, I mean,
rotating around.
if you put your
Now, it was funny because we
So that's a
we
digression
recorded
right
4 pieces of feedback to send to Cliff, and as we were moving, we kept getting closer to the kitchen. So the last one we recorded was louder and louder and clanking dishes and everything like that.
Yeah, but it just goes to show, like that unit, you've got maybe a $150 unit. Andrew's got a very high-end unit. I've got even a more high-end unit. But because they all have condenser mics attached to the unit, you still pick up all the sound.
Ambient noise. Now, the thing is, though, if you're doing an interview out in the field, that's not a bad thing. because it creates an ambiance. And actually, what's his name?
Cliff Ravenclef, the guy.
We have reversed roles here
I
now.
know. You can never remember. Basically, the podcaster man. Yeah, he basically says if you're going to do a recording in an environment where there's ambient noise, that's good to have the ambient noise because then the listener feels like they're sitting down listening with you.
So he played it in his podcast, the voicemail feedback about, testimonial for a digital recorder.
And he thought it was great.
And he said, I felt like I was right there with you and it's great and all this kind of thing.
But he overcompressed. It sounded like crap.
It did it did not sound like the raw audio. That's for sure. It was amped right up.
Yeah. Well, hey, what can you say? He's only the podcast answer man. Podcast, not the audio answer man, which would probably irk him like crazy if you heard that one.
He is one
he
of
is
the,
a bit
he's
in,
one of the he is one of the best.
He's audio anal. Yeah, definitely audio anal, which is a technical term. You can look it up on Wikipedia. I'm not picking on him.
And that's not one of the 7 words you can't say in that context.
Which, anal?
That's right.
Oh, cool. Because it's technical. Like penis. That's not one of the 7 words.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Huh. How about that?
Tits
Okay,
is.
that's a digression. Hey, you cannot say that, man.
No, but if you look at if you go to our show notes for that episode, we did a
well, you do a link.
We showed the link to the original
7
George
words.
Carlin, because the original one is the best. George Carlin, 7 words you can't say, but he did it when he was much older, in the 90s. I believe it was.
Yeah.
And he revisited it and said, okay, these are the words you can't say because some of those words you can say now.
True, but
And that was one of them.
according to the CRTC,
The T-word
anything
is
that would
okay.
embarrass your mother, you shouldn't say on radio or podcast. That's all I've got to say because our man in Ottawa gave me a killer interview, even though the audio sucked. And we had over 160 people,
and
170 people who listened to that.
Open Media is linked to that, and there's been quite a few people that have listened to it from Save Our Net and Open Media, talking about the metered internet.
Oh, yeah.
Eric, you weren't here for that
80
episode.
gigabytes you get shut down. Well, you don't get shut down, but basically you get financially shut
Eric
down.
wasn't here for that episode, and basically
Killer.
A few weeks ago, Canada decided to, or the CRTC decided to allow the metered internet, which means you can
80 gigabytes only. 80 gigabytes worth of transmitted data, and then after that, you get charged
per
megabyte.
per gigabyte.
Or
per
gigabyte. Per gigabyte? Per megabyte.
gigabyte.
Well, okay, gigabyte.
But it's the
Ouch.
door has been open now, and they can apply to lower that bar, right?
Yeah.
And that could dramatically change the internet as we know it. Anyways, that was in the previous episode. We'll maybe get back to that in a future episode. But so, Tomi, you had another question.
I got an email. This was just an investment email, but they were talking. The next big thing is cloud computing, and so I'm wondering, will that be the? In what way will it be the next best big thing?
Well, it already is the big thing.
It's going to replace something.
Yeah. So cloud computing is using the internet, everything like applications based on the internet, or like Gmail and Google Docs is a good example. Do you have another one?
SkyDrive now on
SkyDrive on MSN, yep. Yeah. So if you get a Windows mobile phone and with a Hotmail address, you've got 16 gigabytes on your phone, plus you've got 25 gigabytes on the SkyDrive. So you can use you take pictures and your music and whatever you want, and you can upload it up onto the SkyDrive, and that just basically more than doubles your
But
space.
one second, those are just technical details. Basically, Satomi's cloud computing means all the services that up till now we are used to using a software
On your
from
computer.
Today on, it's going to be on the web.
Yeah.
You don't have to, for example, if you want to use Photoshop, you can just use Photoshop on the web. You don't have
Or
to buy
Avery-
the disc or download
Avery.com.
anything. You just go to the site or the platform like Wix.com. You don't have to download the software to create your website. You just go to the Wix.com site,
Yeah.
and everything is online. That's what it means, cloud computing. Everything is online.
Wix,
That's it.
Wix.com is a good example of cloud computing.
Yeah.
Avery.com. You can Audacity. You're using Audacity for your.
Yeah.
But there's a audio application on Avery.com, and you can do the same thing in the cloud. And cloud computing is is huge.
And it's not the future like you read. It's already been here for a few years.
But
okay?
but is it mainstream? A lot of people are using.
Yeah, it's not
still,
mainstream yet.
So
Many people are still used to software buying in the gaming industry. Still, I guess most of the people still buy it.
Yeah, mostly,
Right?
digital
But
distribution.
Google is, I would consider it a cloud type of
oh yeah,
organization.
100%. It's the biggest example because a lot of people, a ton of people use Google Docs, and now you can use on the MSN side. You've got basically Office Online, and that's another awesome example.
I think SETI also did that with the PS3 PlayStation. SETI, the search for...
Yeah, but
they
you're
have a
talking
cloud.
about the grid. With the
Well, you know, the
people's
fir-
computers to
They're
calculate?
using the PlayStation 3 actually as a client to do
for
their
the grid.
for the
for
grid.
the computation.
Yeah.
They did that before
And
without the PS3, just personal computers.
Yeah,
they,
that.
they were the first grid ever, I guess.
But that was like 12 years ago they were doing that, man.
Yeah.
They were
That was
the
I remember-
the
One of
first
the
one
first
and
ones,
still
yeah.
continuing strong.
I was in Thailand and I read about it and they said, hey, you know, if you leave your computer on 24/7,
Yeah.
click this and link us and we're going to use your bandwidth while you're not using your computer to actually map all the stars that we can see or whatever like that. And it was like, oh, okay, click. And of course, now because of that, the CIA knows everything. CIA
also-
knows everything about me. But, you know, hey,
There's also another one called...
Because you're like a security threat.
There's another one called Folding at Home too, which is using the PS3's cloud computing abilities to study cancer genes. I think it is.
Yeah, but that
So-
is a grid. That is not cloud.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
Okay.
Well,
it's a bit of a difference.
well, cloud,
They
but
call it. They were calling it cloud. I'm. You know,
They call it cloud computing. You
Yeah.
say. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
well, I think it's
Yeah.
it's buy-in. It's kind of like,
Well,
you can send me emails that are promotional material, blah blah blah. It's like you can use my cloud functionality when I'm not using my CPU. The same thing with the cloud. There's no CPU functionality. It's just the ability to dump data, while it's almost like Norton. When they would clean up your hard drive, they got to put the data somewhere where they clean up your hard drive, and then they can put it back in a nice order. So if you've got a huge, very complex mathematical function that's going on, basically a data package, if you're going to mess with that data package, what you've got to do is back up that data package. Then you mess with the copy of the data package, and then if it fails, it doesn't matter because, we got the backup. But if it succeeds, then that becomes the original, and the backup becomes redundant. And then
Holy
you do it
smokes,
again
I
and again and
didn't- I
again.
didn't get anything you just said. Must be the black beers.
Well,
Anyways,
no, hey, it's a science
another
fiction
good,
book.
another good example is the.
Hey, I got a science fiction book here. I'm going to read it.
37 Signals, I believe it is. 37 Signals. They've got the high rise and base camp and all those different
Nice
products
metaphors.
that they offer. But what's that?
Sound like great metaphors.
Well, high rise is like a simplified Salesforce.com, and it's 100% in the cloud.
Oh, okay.
And and it's from what I've never used it personally, but from what I've heard, it's awesome. Very easy to use, and they just take the key components you need in a good CRM, and
High rise, you said.
highrise.com.
Okay.
It's from 37 Signals.
That sounds like a show notes quote.
Basecamp is also really awesome. I've had some
Yeah,
experience with
Basecamp. Yeah, it's another 37 Signals product.
It's totally great for communicating with multiple team members over different projects and stuff like that. So it's,
Yeah, well, it's basically data package.
And they wrote the
strategy.
book. Actually, the creators of 37 Signals wrote the book Rework, which is an awesome book, by the way. So anybody who is interested in reading a good business book, Rework, Bob.
Yeah, okay.
Rework for your business book podcast.
Is that REE work? Just
Yeah,
kidding.
RE Work.
No, REE work. Okay.
And now, do you have any other questions, Tony?
No, not.
Was that enough on the?
Not at the moment, but one interesting thing, it said 2 words. The cloud computing was 2 words Bill Gates didn't want to hear. So
How long ago was that?
I just got it
In
yesterday.
1982.
A couple of days ago or yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, he thought the whole internet thing was going to be a fad, and he dropped the boat in that one.
Well,
Google,
I mean,
Google was able to
He may
take
be
it.
right.
Yeah, I still
may
think.
be right because it's
Yeah,
already
it
been
could-
said that
it could
all
be-
of that computing power is going to disappear. And
With mobile.
Since it
Mobile's
will
gonna
be a part of everything you know, it would actually disappear.
Yeah, it's no longer a fad because it's just part
Yeah.
of the existence
It's part
that
of
we
your
all know.
clothes, a part of your phone, or part of whatever.
Well, the
I
whole
mean, it won't be any special thing about it. Everybody will use it, and that's the way it is.
But that's that means it was not a fad. It became mainstream
Yeah, exactly.
life.
Well, I think that the thing is that because of mobile technology and the sense of mobile technology, cloud strategy it works very, very well with mobile technology because you cannot have a hard drive that sits in a geographic location that's only available once you sit down in that geographic location. So cloud technology and mobile technology are a perfect marriage. And I think that's where we're getting a perfect storm situation. And I was mentioning my brother Graham, he's a bit of a coder, and he works for a company.
I thought you were going to say he's a bit of a cracker.
Yeah, well, he's a crack case too, but he's this crazy coder that I know, and it's in Colorado. But basically, he was talking over Christmas last year, and he was saying that, wow, I work for this company, we're doing those cool stuff, and we're really on the edge. But my two partners, the guys that the two partners in the organization, the guys that run the business, are totally freaked about cloud technology, and they're putting all their resources into cloud technology. So basically, for them, that's what the future is. And I thought that was a very strategic move. Like, this is an opinion that's 12 or 14 months old, and now we're talking about these guys have had 12 or 14 months to actually crunch the numbers and get some code figured out and make relationships and stuff. Like, they're on the cutting edge. And anybody that's into cloud technology now and say, you know what, I think we're going to get into cloud technology and cloud this and cloud that. Hey, man, you're like 12 months behind the algorithm of what's going on in the real world. And that is like 10 or 15 years behind what's really going on. So if you're going to get into cloud technology now, you've lost already, unless you have something that's a game changer. And that's all I got to say.
But the question is, will there be a next stage? Because, okay, we have...
There will always be a next stage.
No. A basic next stage. Because, okay, now we have smartphones that we can access the internet and cloud computing and so on. But what is the next stage? Or will it just stabilize and,
brain
and be
implants.
invisible?
Well, you know what? I've been
Brain implants are the next stage.
You know what? It's very interesting. No, it's nanotechnology, not brain implants. I don't think we'd get into brain implants. What'll happen is we'll get into nanotechnology in the next 20 to 30 years, and the way it'll be sold to us is like, you'll live longer, or you're going to have a heart attack, or you have cancer, boom, we'll slap these nanotechs onto you, and blah, blah, blah. I'm in the middle of reading a book called Mom, and I love the tagline. It says that the name of the book's a Mom, and the subtext is like, too bad about the personality disorder. And basically what it is about society, and they're living in this world that has been basically taken over, and nanotechnology is so advanced that when you want something, it's built for you in your home instantly. So
it's like the replicator on Star Trek.
Well, basically, except on a much higher level. And the thing is like, nobody needs money. So it's a socialist society. Nobody needs to work. So what do people do? And they go to malls, and all these malls are places where they can plug in and experience ultimate realities.
Bob just interviewed for his book, A Futurist.
Yeah.
Who's big on nanotechnology. So now, that's where that came from, I think.
Well, this book that I'm reading, I told the futures about this book. He got all excited about it. So, there's a thumbs up for the book called Mom. Anyways, so we'll put a link in there. It's very
so Bob's
thick book.
Taking care of the show notes this week, and we're going to have
all that, right?
accurate show notes. And we are now at the end of the show.
No way! Come on, that can't be 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So we are.
That's what you get for
closing off now. I'll leave our contact information once again: 1-877-636-1474.
Or on Gmail.
Leave us a message.
What's the Gmail address?
Bunker Project Podcast at gmail.com.
Exactly.
At Podcast Hero for Twitter, Facebook, The Bunker Project.
Or just look us up as the... actually, if you just Google The Bunker Project Vancouver, like, we control like the first 2 or 3 pages. So, tons of links there. Join us on LinkedIn.
You'll find the meetup page.
Oh, yeah, and then iTunes.
LinkedIn. We're on LinkedIn.
I think we should... Don't we have a LinkedIn account?
Well, we each individually do.
Well, we
but
will be at the end of the shame. No, I think we should.
I think you meant Meetup. Meetup.com.
Yeah, Meetup, but
Meetup.
we should have a LinkedIn
Is
too.
not something you talk about.
Why not?
For whom?
For business, for the
business.
businesses, the
Let
people
me
that want to
know.
give us money for doing the
Let me
show.
know
Yeah,
business.
you business. Come
You
on.
know.
All right.
All right, everybody's
All
going
right. So
weird.
sign up on.
I prefer Kermit the Frog. Hey man, what's
right.
going on? We're having a Kermit.
Which I'd like to say that I enjoyed the show, and now I'm kind of wasted, and I'm gonna go home and eat some bacon.
Yeah, watch out for that.
Or you're
pig
going to
of
go
yours.
into a movie theater and. Oh no, that's not Kermit.
Carmen, that's not Kermit the Frog.
All right.
Yeah.
I need to work on my.
So that's a wrap.
On your
Call us on our
platform,
voicemail hotline.
Okay.
Give us a message.
Bye guys. Hope you enjoyed
Go to
the show.
Facebook. Like us on Facebook. And give us a review on iTunes.
Okay,
Talk to you
bye-bye.
next week. Bye.